Welcome everybody, Red Arrow 23 here, time for another Land Like a Boss video. Today we're going to be doing a left hand beach. We're going to be doing a 2-smoke flare landing on the left hand side. Let's boom this beach! So today Juppa's going to kick us off, show us how it's done, and then we'll break it down in a bit. So as you can see, we got the left hand beach. We're going to be suiciding the hero on the right hand side, so we're going to fast forward that. And then we're going to be flaring into the bottom left hand corner, dropping our first smoke, 4 boats of Zookas, 3, 4, and then dropping our next smoke and another 4 boats of Zookas. So there we go, that's how it's done. Thank you for that demonstration, Juppa, and we will get into the breakdown. So first thing I always like to do before I jump into a 2-smoke landing of any sort, flare or flag, is I jump into a old replay. Doesn't have to be from the same op, can be from a different op, doesn't have to be from the same base, as long as it's the same orientation. And what we're looking for is to make sure that so this is the left hand beach, so that's going to work for us, and then we're just looking, all we're looking at seeing is how high the Zookas are going to be landing on the beach. So you can see that they're right in that corridor there, and that's where we want the middle of our smokes to be. So the middle of our smoke is going to be right in there. That is some horrible drawing, but you get the idea. We want our smokes to be right there, where the widest part is where those Zookas are going to be landing. Okay, so now that we know that, we can jump in, and all we have to know now is our special spots. So these are reference points on the beach that we can use to place these smokes. We've just done the one on the right, so let's check out this line here. Is going to be this line here that's placed on the beach. It's always there on this map. That's going to be our reference point. We know that the Zookas walk just under the bottom crest of the wave, so that's basically where we want our smoke to be. You'll see that Juppa drops it a little bit to the right, and I think he had it like right on the line. I would have dropped it a little bit further left, but that being said, this landing isn't necessarily my strongest landing. And you definitely need to practice these ones. So he's going to be dropping the hero on the right hand side, and then the flare. So the flare needs to be as far down on as far down and left, as low and as left as possible. And then he's going to be dropping his smoke, and you'll see that once that sort of brighter spot is just right of the line. So I'd actually bring that right on that line, a little bit further left, because he just really stretched the limit of this one. The trick, the reason we want to have them so low, the smoke so low on the beach, so that we have the widest part of the smoke there. If we have the smoke too high, like this and this, what you'll find is they'll peak in this little area here, as they're going to be popping out. It's a little bit over exaggerated, but it definitely occurs all the time. I very rarely see anybody smoke too low, especially on the left hand beach. The Zookas always walk really low in the water. So we got that, and then we want to put our flag right on that edge. So on the left hand beach, your flags normally sort of are a little bit further left, a little bit further right than you expect. Well, you need to drop it right on the edge here. On the left, on the other side, it's a little bit different, so check out that video. But we want to drop it right on the edge, and we want to do 4 boats of Zookas. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then as soon as we finish doing that, we can throw our next smoke. And we want it to be covering us all the way from the edge of that smoke all the way to about here. This is where the Zookas will stop walking. That's why I would have liked this smoke to be a little bit, the first smoke to be a little bit further left, so you just got a little bit more buffer room on the left hand side. But you'll see that as they walk, they are going to reach that flare So as soon as they hit that flare, the first boat of Zukas hit that flare, you can flare up. You can see he's already got his second smoke out, and these smoke timing is critical because you see this last smoke doesn't have a smoke timer because it's just about to dissipate, and that last boat of Zukas has only just gone past, so the smoke timing needs to be perfect. So it's flare, smoke, Zuka, and you need to get straight into landing your Zukas straight away, and then once they're moving out of that smoke, drop your next smoke. And now that we're in there, he actually used critters just because he's using it, doing a demo. So let's have another look at this one. Let's break it down. A little bit unfortunate that Jupper decided to troll us with a little bit of hero death. So there we go, the hero's down. Want to be as low and left with that flare as possible. And then we're using that reference point. So our smoke needs to be right on that line and just under the lowest part of the wave. So when I say the lowest part of the wave, you can see the wave sort of going like that. Just under the lowest part, that's where those Zukas are going to be walking, right in there. So you want your smoke point to be right there. So let's have a look. Jumper's done it a little bit further right, as I've already said. Boom. So you can see that circle is just off to the right. I would definitely put it a little bit further to the left, but that's just me, and it worked out perfectly for him. He's got those 4 boats of Zukas, remembering that right flag can be quite far right, but it needs to be under the smoke. If it's not under the smoke, then you're going to peak to whatever splash damage is in the area, and then the next smoke needs to be on time and perfectly placed again. Remembering that if you're doing this for the first time, you might need to do a 3 smoke landing, especially if you're doing Machina. If you're going to be bringing a hero, you can drop the hero first, but you will lose the delay on defenses, and then you can drop your Zukas after that, or you can do Zukas under the smoke, 1, 2, 3, and then drop a hero outside the smoke, and then carry on dropping your Zukas. That way Brick will catch up. To be honest, if you're doing like Machina and you need to get in there, you don't really want to lose the delay, because if you do, then you're going to be getting hit a lot quicker. I always do a 3 smoke landing, but we're obviously doing a demonstration of the perfect 2 smoke landing. So let's have one last look at it, and then we'll call it a day. So you can suicide your hero, or you can bring them with you, and we're going to be doing flare, smoke right on that intersection just under the waterline, like so, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, drop our next smoke, bam, 1, 2, and you can rapid drop all of these ones because they're all going to be going to the flare reasonably the same point. Next smoke already out, and then your flare up. And that is the perfect 2 smoke flare landing on a left hand beach, left hand side. So hopefully that'll help you out with maps like Machina, the Cooker, when you're doing the Cooker ring. Those are just a couple of examples. Give us a comment down below if this does help you out for any particular attacks. If you do it any differently, use any different reference points, anything like that, give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and subscribe for more Boom Beach.